first thing is to find the bounds, and to find the bounds, we're just going to set the functions equal to each other. So we'll set x squared equal to negative x squared plus 18x. Now, this over the x-axis isn't really anything new, because the functions are defined in terms of x with respect to x, so that is taken care of with this over the x-axis, is because of the fact that you're defining the function in terms of x. All right, so to solve this equation, you have to recognize it's a polynomial equation. So we're going to move everything over to one side. So I'll probably add x squared, subtract 18. So add x squared, subtract 18x. And that's going to give us a 2x squared minus 18x is equal to 0. All right, so once we have that, we then have moved everything over. Now we try to factor. To factor, you can take out a GCF of 2x, and that will leave you with x minus 9 as your leftover quantity. And then you can set the factors equal to 0. So you'll have 2x is equal to 0, x minus 9 is equal to 0. So that gives you x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 9. All right, so once you have your bounds, the 0 to 9, then you have to determine which of these is the bigger function. So you're integrating from 0 to 9, and I would maybe plug in 1, something like that. So you have y is equal to x squared as one function, y is equal to negative x squared plus 18x as the other function. So if I plug in 1, I'll just have 1 here, and if I plug in 1 here, I'll have negative 1 plus 18, which gives us a 17. So comparing the 17 versus the 1, that tells us that the bigger function is the negative x squared plus 18x, and the smaller function is going to be the x squared. So now we can put these two things together to our integral. So we're going to integrate from 0 to 9, and then the big function is this negative x squared plus 18x minus the small function, which is x squared dx. All right, so before you integrate, I would combine your like terms. So that's going to give you negative 2x squared plus 18x dx. And then now that it's simplified, you're ready to integrate. So you would have negative 2x to the third over 3 plus 18x squared over 2. And then my bound from 0 to 9. So I first start by plugging in 9. So I'd have 2 times 9 to the third over 3 plus 18 times 9 squared over 2. And of course, this 18 over 2, I really should just say is 9. So you are looking at 9 here. So it's 9 times the 9 squared, and then no over 2 because it crosses out. And then minus, and then your lower bound plugged in of 0, all of that stuff is going to drop out. So you're going to have this, but of course when you evaluate, that all drops to 0. Okay? So you have to simplify this. When you take the 9 to the third, you get a huge number. You get 729 times the 2 is going to give you a negative 1458 over 3, which gives you negative 486, negative 486, and then plus this 729. And so you'll just subtract those two numbers and get 243 as the area under that curve.